Well, welcome back, and we have Mr. Onyema joining us. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Onyema.
Thank you very much.
Great to have you.
Well, the aviation industry has been embattled since the advent of COVID-19, and in the midst of this, we now have your regional jet shift from a typical Boeing to Embraer jet. What informed this at this time?
Well, in 2014, when AP's birthed, it was within our business plan, to plan appropriately, for the future. So we knew right from 2014 that at this stage in time, we should transit to some regional jets. Cost efficiency, safety, and other parameters, joined. That is why we moved to the Embraer jet. And that is the latest aircraft in town now, not just in Nigeria. It's Embraer's latest invention and the newest in the aviation industry worldwide. And we decided to key in order to give Nigerians, Nigerians have been yearning for brand new airplanes. So we decided this time, not that the old planes are not good, but we decided to give them brand new planes.
So not even the COVID-19 could stop your plan. I mean, one would ask, how did you manage, in the midst of the industry? Yes, had a lot of cuts out, jobs and things like that.
That's the power of planning. The power of, making sure you execute your vision to the letter. We had paid before COVID. Okay. When the payment has been made before COVID. What we had to pay this time was just the balance of payment for delivery. So majority of the money, the payment had been done before COVID set in. However, we had to pay some money this period in time, and getting Forex and others was very, very tedious. It was not easy, very difficult. But we thank the central bank for coming to our aid.
All right, so, recently you opened the Lagos-Johannesburg routes in addition to Middle East and European destinations. So at this point, you seem to be doing the opposite. Other companies are rationalizing their routes, but don't you think it's time to consolidate your network at this time, considering all these problems of COVID and all that?
Well, yes, no doubt. The COVID pandemic, has devastated the aviation world. Airlines are the worst hit, no doubt about that. But yet again, we do our homework very well. You can see that our Johannesburg flights are doing very well. And we've provided that gap. We saw a gap and we moved into it. We have the equipment. We have 777s. APIS has about 3 777s. So we deploy them. We also restarted our Dubai route. We, in fact, want to start our India and Chinese. We're just waiting for the flying permit. Once we get the flying permit, we'll go India, we'll go Guangzhou in China. So we keep on, even the Accra, we have resumed our regional routes. We are flying about 6 countries in West Africa. So what we are doing is to make sure Nigerians are not left in the hands of foreign airlines, where they pay through their noses in order to travel. APIS is providing that. We are kind of closing that gap. And I know the foreign airlines are not happy about it. Nobody would, but we really have to do something for our country.
Well, with this expansion, cabin crew training, maintenance costs, how are you dealing with that, with this, broadening your space?
It's not been easy, and my thrust when I was setting up APC just to create jobs. So when you see what we are doing, a lot of people are, surprised that in the midst of difficulties like this, APC is still doing what we record all our staff. We reinstated all of them to pre-COVID salaries. No airline worldwide has done that, except APIS, because the thrust, APIS was created just to create jobs, to give jobs to the critical mass of unemployed people in Nigeria. So I didn't float APIS to line my pockets. So I keep on pushing everything back to the airline. I don't divert money coming from the airline. Instead, I put from my other businesses into the airline, because I discovered that the airline business creates a lot of jobs. That is why we are doing what we are doing. We are still employing cabin crews. We are employing pilots. In fact, recently, I announced that we needed graduate engineers, no matter whatever they studied. And we've been doing that. So EPIS is for the Nigerian masses and the Nigerian people.
Fantastic, interesting. Well, maintenance is key to safety. And what is your maintenance culture like at EPIS?
Well, safety is our watchword. Remember when we started, we outsourced our maintenance to a British company. The Israelis, we brought in the Israelis also to do our 777s. Now for the brand new Embraer jets you're seeing, Embraer itself, the factory itself, send down their engineers that are here. So when it comes to maintenance, you cannot, I don't think any of the legacy airlines in the first world you can say we're not doing what they are doing. We might even be doing better. Because the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, under the regime of Captain Musa Nuhu, does not, like the Nigerian parlance, does not send you. Very, very serious about safety. The man is, when it comes to safety, he's almost paranoid. He doesn't want even a little bit to be left untouched when it comes to safety. So the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority's regime of safety regime is breathing heavily on airlines. So it must be top-notch for you to fly. So they don't,
no compromise.
No compromise at all. They are very, very serious. The kind of oversight function, the kind of regulatory oversight function the present Civil Aviation Authority in Nigeria, gets to bear on airlines. Not even the first world, they don't do it. Nigerians should be proud of their own.
Wow, we thank God for that. Well, there's also the Africa Single Aviation, which has made, Africa an open sky market. What's your view on this?
You see, SATIM, as it's called, the Single African Air Transport Market, is a noble idea. No doubt about that. And the Nigerian government has signed into it. Noble idea, fantastic idea. It encourages, connectivity all over Africa. It is more expensive to travel from Nigeria to Gabon or Nigeria to Niger than traveling from Nigeria to UK. Sometimes, for you to go to Niamey, you have to go to Paris and connect to. So the SATIM thing is very, very noble. However, these other African countries are not obeying the rules. They try to stop Nigerian airlines from coming in. Nigeria allows them to come in obedience to the convention. However, in obedience to that treaty. But it's the other way around when you go to them. I remember applying to Ivory Coast. They will frustrate you. We applied to Togo. Togo said, no, we don't want you to come. Because they want to protect their own airlines. They want to protect their own lines. Until I wanted to go to court to stop an airline coming from that place, from coming into the country. That was when they said, okay, we give you permit. However, when they give you this permit, you go over there to set up. The kind of bills and charges they will slam on you is like paying about $10,000 each time you land. How many people are you carrying on that plane? So they frustrate you. However, our government is doing something about it.
Yeah, because I wanted to ask, isn't there a conversation? If their government can protect their airlines, our
government should.
Yeah, our government should either protect our airlines or do something about it to allow us also have
you see, you don't blame the Nigerian government. The Nigerian government is being civil.
Okay.
These governments on the other side are not being civil. What they are doing is illicit. But the Nigerian government is fighting back. You could see recently Nigeria banning airlines. If you do anything to the Nigerian side, they will give it back to you. Reciprocity.
Exactly. So, how do you plan to compete with behemoths like Ethiopian Airlines and Kenya Airways in the regional market?
Let me tell you something. Ethiopia Airlines started flying since 1959 or thereabout. Ethiopia Airlines celebrated their first 100 planes about 2 years ago. That is over almost 60 years of flying. And AP started in 2014. Just 6.5 years. In 6.5 years, AP has acquired over 49 planes. It means that in the next 10 years, we might overtake them. If we continue doing what we are doing and continue getting the support of our government like we are getting now, that the government has given airlines zero duty. They've signed it into law, not even a waiver. It has been signed into law. When we have all those parameters that support aviation, Nigerian airlines will get there and overtake them because we have the population here. Not just having the population, we have a mobile population that travels. So we can be number one in Africa. I don't mean Air Peace alone. I mean Nigerian airlines, the Nigerian aviation industry as a whole. And the government is trying to create an enabling environment for us that to try it. Really, they are doing that.
Okay, so the global aviation industry is presently challenged. However, the industry is galvanizing or consolidating into 3 major blocks, or what you would call alliances. We have One World, the BA, the Qatar, we have the Star Alliance, Lufthansa, United, South Africa, and then we have the Sky Team. You know, are you joining any of these ones?
Any alliances?
Yes. But, you know, these alliances are like a cartel. You know, it's like, you know, the mafia kind of thing. But we have our sight on them. One after the other, we're taking it one by one. We've launched ourselves on the international scene very powerfully too. You saw what happened during the lockdown, when the airlines that call themselves airlines were all over the world, you know, ferrying their people from one place to the other. Air Peace came out to help Nigeria. Air Peace went to China, went to India. In fact, at the time, other governments of other climes started hiring Air Peace. We flew for the Israeli government on 3 occasions. Direct flight, the first ever in 60 years, between Nigeria and Tel Aviv. So we flew for them. We took the Chinese government officials. We flew for the Chinese government, took their people back, and brought with our 777, 16 hours non-stop flying. So we've kind of provided that, you know, looping gap. We closed it. We made our country proud. I'm proud to say that, and I'm proud to be Nigerian.
Yes. Well, just before we leave that subject, you are also quick to, you know, come to the aid of Nigerians, you know, stranded Nigerians, and you know, and we wonder, what is this, a strategy towards something? What's behind that?
Let me say this: if you know my history very well, in 2004 I had no airline. But I was the one that promoted and engendered the first Nigerian Forever project. It was a project I created and designed and implemented and executed to promote and encourage broad nationalism in Nigeria as against what is happening, ethnic nationalism. Because this is a country of 378 ethnic nationalities. Powerful. Nigeria could be anything it wants to be, if only we can remain together and in peace. So it has been my vision. So anything I do it to promote unity in this country, to promote love across the ethnic divide. That was why I went to South Africa. A lot of people thought maybe because I'm from Anambra State, maybe Igbos are there. But at the last count, they saw that Igbos were in the minority in South Africa, that I didn't give any consideration before moving in there. I went to, when some people were rioting in Malaysia and Indonesia because they were stranded during the lockdown. I went in there with my jet. I was hopping from Thailand, from Indonesia to Malaysia, picking them up, and they were so proud.
All right, Mr. Onyema, please, we'd like you to still stay with us.
Yeah.
We'll take a moment now, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation. Do stay with us. And we still have Mr. Alan Onyema, CEO, Chairman of Air Peace. Thank you so much for staying with us. So with the rollout of vaccines and economies gradually opening, what's your outlook for the aviation industry?
Well, it can only be better. I mean, it cannot go worse than it has, you know, it has gone already. I mean, with the advent of the vaccine, we hope to, you know, get the aviation world, you know, open up again. Because that will ease travels and that will make countries relax the rules. And at least international travels will kick off again. On the domestic side, it has not been, you know, doing badly. Nigerians are traveling and they're observing all the COVID rules at the airports and inside the planes, and that has really helped.
What about the growth of Air Peace?
Well, we are thankful to God Almighty. Air Peace is growing, and nothing is going to stop us from growing, except God says otherwise. However, the advent of COVID has really affected us because we have about 17 of our aircraft still stranded abroad, undergoing maintenance. Those planes went abroad before COVID, and because of the various lockdowns, those people have not been able to those MROs have not been able to work on the planes. So they are coming in trickles, and that is affecting our domestic operations, really. However, with the coming of the brand new jets, we paid for 13 brand new jets. They are coming in one after the other.
Big number.
Two have already come in the next 3 weeks. The third one will come in, and by June, another one will come. July, another one will come, until we
get your 13.
Get
So
13.
with this growth, are we expecting to see airpiece on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange anytime soon?
Yeah, a lot of people have been asking me this question about going public. I discussed with my wife and children and some members of my management about going public. However, I discovered that most companies in Nigeria try to go public because the owner wants to cash out. A lot of people have told me, Alan, go public so you can, you invested a lot of billions into this, so you can cash out. And I don't want to cash out. I want the legacy of APs to outlive me, outlive the next generations. I've always told my staff, I want you to work in such a way that your great-grandchildren will one day say that my great-grandfather worked in APs, my grandfather worked in APs, my father worked in APs, and here am I. So I want a Nigerian company that will outlive time, outlive my own generation and generations yet to come. I don't want to go public now because of that perception, not just the perception, that intent to go public in order to cash out. I don't need that money. I can't go to my grave with my wallet. So I don't need all that. I want to make sure we have absolute control to make sure the necessary foundation is laid. Maybe in future it will go public, but for now we are still building. We are still making it strong. It has to be strong before it goes public.
Because some
but if I
people
want money,
to buy into
if
that.
I want my billions, yes. If I want to want millions to myself and my family now,
Yeah.
if I advertise APs tomorrow, it will be oversubscribed because of the name we have made, even from abroad. But we make sure we don't want people. For example, I reinstated my staff to pre-COVID salary. I made sure my pilots earn very well. If when you bring in other businessmen, they might not look at it that way, and things will start crumbling.
So for those who are looking out for airpiece, please just hold on. Be patient. It's not yet time.
I'm sure you will buy that stuff.
Yes. Well, we really have to thank you so much, Mr.
Thank
Oyema,
you.
for joining us this morning, the chairman, CEO of Airpeace. Thank you for spending
Thank you
this
for your
morning
time.
with us.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
All right.